is just revolts over it, right? They just like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. Like you're such a schmuck, right?
Yeah. They revolt with rigor and intellectual sophistication.
Or not. But I mean, it's both. Seen. But it's like, but people who are like, so it's. I mean, the clearest case is, I have whatever audience I have, and then Trump appears on the scene, and I discover that something like 20% of my audience just went straight to Trump and couldn't believe I didn't follow them there. They were just aghast that I didn't see that Trump was obviously exactly what we needed to steer the ship of state for the next 4 years, and then 4 years beyond that. So that's one example. So whenever I said anything about Trump, I would hear from people who loved more or less everything else I was up to and had for years, but everything I said about Trump just gave me pure pain from this quadrant of my audience. But then the same thing happens when I say something about the derangement of the far left. Anything I say about wokeness, right, or identity politics. Same kind of punishment signal from again, people who are core to my audience. Like I read all your books. I'm using your meditation app. I love what you say about science, but you are so wrong about politics, and I'm starting to think you're a racist asshole for everything you said about identity politics. And there are so many. And the free will topic is just like this. So it's like they love what I'm saying about consciousness and the mind, and they love to hear me talk about physics with physicists, and it's all good. This free will stuff is, I cannot believe you don't see how wrong you are. What a fucking embarrassment you are. But I'm starting to notice that there are other people who don't have this experience of having an audience because they have, just take the Trump woke dichotomy. They just castigated Trump the same way I did, but they never say anything bad about the far left. So they never get this punishment signal. Or you flip it. They're all about the insanity of critical race theory now. We connect all those dots the same way, but they never really specified what was wrong with Trump, or they thought there was a lot right with Trump, and they got all the pleasure of that. And so they have much more homogenized audiences. And so my experience, so just to come back to, this experience of fame or quasi-fame, I mean, it's true. In truth, it's not real fame, but it's still, there's an audience there. It's now an experience where basically whatever I put out, I notice a ton of negativity coming back at me. And it is what it is. I mean, now it's like I used to think, wait a minute, there's got to be some way for me to communicate more clearly here so as not to get this kind of lunatic response from my own audience, from like people who are showing all the signs of we've been here for years for a reason, right? These are not just trolls. And so I think, okay, I'm going to take 10 more minutes and really just tell you what it should be absolutely clear about what's wrong with Trump. Right? I've done this a few times, but I think I got to do this again. Or wait a minute, how are they not getting that these episodes of police violence are so obviously different from one another that you can't ascribe all of them to yet another racist maniac on the police force, killing someone based on his racism. Last time I spoke about this, it was pure pain, but I just got to try again. Yeah. Now, at a certain point, I'm starting to feel like, all right, I have to cease. Again, it comes back to this expectation that there shouldn't be fires. Right. Like I feel like if I could just play my game impeccably, the people who actually care what I think will follow me.